This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena we are dialing in on Ugin the Ineffable. But as we launch into that, let me give my update of exactly how long we've been going, where we're at in the epic journey of the quarantined life. And I am on day number 13 without going outside, going to the store, going to socialize, going to the sports, going to the gym, going to the anything. And we are on the 415th consecutive MTG Arena video. So that's what's up, everybody. Have I gone completely crazy? Not really, but I am diving more into the things I love, and that helps get me through the day. And this deck is a blue-white control deck that is adjusted to make use of Ugin the Ineffable. Now, some interesting things, I'm going to try to keep from doing a full monologue, but one thing that you can look at a card like Ugin, and I look at Ugin and I say, you know, why isn't this card more popular? It's a lot like Elspeth Conquers Death, except you get to kill something right away. Then immediately the next turn you start drawing cards and making creatures. But this card is considered slow and less effective in current standard, and there's a lot of reasons that it's not quite as good as Elspeth Conquers Death. But it's really good with Elspeth Conquers Death, because you can blow things up. If the opponent finally kills Ugin, you get it back with Elspeth Conquers Death over and over. It's also good with Interplanar Bacon, because you gain more life, and once you up the Planeswalker count in this deck, you can gain a lot of life. When I asked my Discord for advice on making an Ugin deck, most of them focused on the passive. They wanted to make a deck that played a bunch of free spells, and I didn't want to give up on that entirely, although all the artifacts are pretty janky and not worth playing. So I have Karn the Great Creator, playing this for 2 mana when you have an Ugin out, and then using the -2 to go fetch cards like Sorcerous Spyglass from the sideboard and play them for 0 with an Ugin out is really good value. So Karn got a spot, and he's particularly good against the Rakdos Sacrifice Witch's Oven decks, which are a lot more popular right now than they've been in some time. The real question is this better than Dream Trawler? As this is the spot where a Dream Trawler would probably go. And the answer isn't exactly yes or no. You can look at these cards in a vacuum, but they're very different cards for the most part. Dream Trawler is, for example, vulnerable to wraths like Shatter the Sky, whereas Ugin is not. If Dream Trawler gets countered, you get nothing. If Ugin gets countered, you might gain some life off Interplanar Beacon. Ugin does something the turn it enters the battlefield. Dream Trawler often does not. So they're not a strict peas and carrots comparison. And over here, we've got the rest of the deck. So this is a tap-out deck focused on using Interplanar Beacon. So we have no counter spells. In fact, the only card we have to play on our opponent's turn is Omen of the Sea, which I love in this deck because it makes the opponent think I have counter spells. And they often play suboptimally only to get wrecked by my tap-out threats. Then there's Fae of Wishes to go to the sideboard, where the deck, if it can't grind the opponent out with Ugin, has an epic endgame where we cast Finale of Revelation for 10 or more, giving us no maximum hand size and a huge pile of cards in our hand. And then we start playing and recycling Fae of Wishes over and over to get the counter spells that are here, like Dovin's Veto. And yeah, we go up to 4 Dovin's Vetoes in the sideboard because we can just keep fetching them with Fae of Wishes to close out the game. Heliod's Intervention, Time Wipe, Absorb, just some other utility stuff, the Spyglass we mentioned, and a little variety pack of Graveyard Hate, because stopping those escape creatures isn't as simple as playing a Soul Guide Lantern or a Grafdigger's Cage. A combination of both, and even some Spyglass on top can help. I've definitely talked enough about the deck. I've been really enjoying it as a tap-out control style, so let's dive in, and if we win some games, we'll go play some ranked at the end, as I've been doing, which is pretty fun. I like that sort of linear journey for the video of, well, if this does well in unranked, as we're learning the deck and probably making some mistakes, then we can take it to ranked and try it out there once we've worked on our game a little bit. All right, so time to dive in. This nonsense, this ineffable nonsense, is about to begin. Ooh, no blue. It's okay, we'll draw it. No blue, we'll see this through. My God, I'm just going to rhyme about everything if I'm not careful. This is Stir Crazy CGB, I'm warning you right now. There might be rhymes. There might be nonsense. Real nonsense talk. Gallia on turn 2. All right, I told you. I told you. Let's. I mean, I'm paying 2 life for the privilege of preventing 2 damage, but I guess that's just the life I live now. I'm not sure that was right. It might have made a lot more sense to play Birth, although if we want this blue source, we probably have to pay life for it at some point. So, you know, yeah, if I had to do it again, I'd do it again. And we actually got to prevent 3. Feels good, man. How many 1/4s can you play? So next turn is the Embercleave turn, which is a really good reason to play Teferi. That and mana efficiency. Make you pay the full price for that card again. Karn. Nah. Karn's a bit slow. This isn't the matchup. Although with Karn on the board, Embercleave can't be activated. Oh, we're ambushing now. Okay. Sure. We need an Narset to shut off their Gallia. That can be really funny when they choose to activate a Gallia with a Narset on the field. We were going to do the LOLs. Now I'm not sure exactly what to do. I could go fetch a Time Wipe. And what my opponent does is play Embercleave. I block here, they Embercleave, this dies. Then I Time Wipe, then the next turn, yeah. I think that's actually the play here. And we'll get the bacon out, so if we draw multiple bacons in a row, we can gain multiple life. So, here we go. This means if they play in to activate the Gallia, it's going to cost them some more cards in the Time Wipe. Oh, they're doing it anyway. They are a maniac. And what's the discard? A Bone Crusher Giant, 2 freshies. Down to 7. Another bacon. Let's see, this is blue, white, white, blue, white, white. Yep. Just making sure I can play it. And come back to me. Now, no Questing Beast, please. Please. And if you do Questing Beast, may I draw an Ugin? Okay. Another 2 mana 2/2. With haste. Yes. We have established that this is a thing you do. No! Oh, God. Just worst. Worst possible. I had a feeling, but what can you do, right? So I can't stop it, can I? I can gain some life. I don't have an Aether Gust to fetch in this version of the sideboard. So what do I have to do? I have to find a Shatter the Sky with my Omen. The only way? Well then, I should probably keep the Narset as well, just because it gains the life. But we're probably dead. Any haste thing will do it, but this is why we play the games. That's not good. All right, so this is 2 damage a turn, and this is almost turned on. How do I deal with it? So if I get the Spyglass, that doesn't do anything. Spyglass can shut this down, but it's not doing a lot right now. So I think I just want to play the Narset, gain the life, and play the Karn and gain the life. The other thing I could do is fetch Absorb, but then I just die to this trigger. I could exile my opponent's graveyard, but then they'll pick on my graveyard anyway. Yeah, none of that makes a lot of sense. Alright, go. We're just gonna have to play Planeswalkers and gain life until we're in this thing again. Well, they couldn't deal 1 damage to me last turn. Let's hope they can't deal 3 to me this turn. I know I'm at 5, but I'm also considering the Clothis activation. They just need a thing to turn it on, though, is the problem. I'm going to grab the lantern. What you can do is, let's see, exile at least their graveyard, and then they have a limited number of exiles in mine. It's possible I should have just grabbed Casket anyway, but let's see what happens.
Busting heads is my bread and butter.
Okay. Nice. So they can't activate it. They can't equip it while Karn's on the battlefield. But the big problem is that they're only a card away from turning this on. So let's hit an Elspeth Conqueror's Death, please. We did. There's also Teferi. Okay, we can play another Narset and this Elspeth Conqueror's Death. I think that's ideal. I'm not worried about this. I'm worried about this dying now that there's an Embercleave on the field. One of the fun things is when we find a Wrath, we can turn this into a creature and blow it up. So that's, you know, in the future. In the future. Play this to gain the life. Keep finding Planeswalkers.
There are so many mysteries to uncover. Keep an open mind.
Uh-huh. Get rid of you. Let's plus instead of minus. Like I said, we want to keep this turned off now. Shut that thing down. That's close. Oh, it's lethal because of Domri. No. Ah, good game. Now that's a nice curve. Probably. We'll need a land for the Narset, but a blue source. Opt on turn 1? Nonsense is this? What sorcery is this Watery Grave opt stuff? What's going on here? Sultai now. Be funny if they main phase the opt but slow roll the growth spiral. Thank you for coming to my birth. Or whatever. Uro. Would be nice to have a Narset down to fight the Uro. Let's see if we are blessed. Hashtag blessed. Nope. Hashtag not blessed by top deck. Okay. Here's Teferi. Gonna bounce this birth and try to keep the mana coming and find that blue source. We found it! Oh yay, we have to discard. So what can go? Shatter the Sky seems really off here. That's what I get. The heck is with the questing beasts today? I haven't seen this card in forever. Today it's eating my lunch for me. Another untapped white. Okay. Let's do this. So we could play the Fae of Wishes and the Birth, but the Fae of Wishes can't block the questing beast anyway, and I might need to use it at some point. So we'll play this again. Go get another land, but then we're going to play the Temple of Enlightenment and get a Scry. We need to play this first because it shuffles. We see something we like on top, we want to play this last. And then Elspeth gets to conquer death. Do I want this? Nope. It's a bit slow. It's a bit slow right now. I need high impact cards. Opt and Questing Beast living together. What is going on? I guess our opponent really likes getting back Uro. Maybe they run a much lower land count with Opt. In some shuffler theory that would work, but not this shuffler. This shuffler won't allow it. Okay. What an interesting collection of cards. Anyway. Bye-bye, Questing Beast. It's the one I can't block. And then what am I going to do about you? And Gutter Bones. Okay, they're funky aggro, I would describe it as, I guess. Teferi, hello. So I have another Teferi possibly coming back next turn. I could bounce the Regisaur, but I could also bounce the Elspeth Conquers Death and exile the Regisaur. I don't think that's it though. Considering all the Ugins and other cards in our deck, I think what I want to do is bounce this Regisaur. Bounce this Regisaur and also play Narset? Maybe. I'd have to draw another blue. So because of that, we'll draw first.
Sorry I'm late.
Because we might draw that blue source.
Might be a bad idea.
Hello? This is good if we have to sweep the board or if they bring back Uro. There's Ugin. Big Dragon Daddy. Time to shine, hissy boy.
Sloppy technique.
She's so judgy. I love it. Whoa, play nothing.
This isn't
Against a
fight.
Teferi? I don't know about that. It's a pretty bold play by the opponent, so I mean, we can exile their Midnight Reaper and bounce their Gutter Bones and play a Fae of Wishes. Seems like we would really be taking over the board. I love it. We'll start with the draw effect. Actually, we can play Elspeth Conquers Death, bounce it, and play Fae of Wishes to block the Gutter Bones. I like that. Okay. So, I guess we can't start with the draw effect. So we'll play Elspeth first. Exile your Reaper. Bounce the Elspeth Conquers Death. So it's ready for the Regisaur. Alright, didn't draw the bacon. But we'll play out the 1-4. So that we have 2 blockers for Gutter Bones to protect Narset. And the opponent says, no more of that, please. Please, that sucked. That was not fun for them. We'll draw that blue source, it's fine. This is fine. Everything about this is perfect. I keep stupid hands. It's just what I do. That way I can blame Shuffler. Blaming Shuffler gets people riled up and they leave comments. Comments help YouTube algorithm. YouTube algorithm pays dollars. Add dollars to CGB. It's all part of a plan. Hell, even if you want to tell me I keep stupid hands, that helps. Every comment helps. Yeah? Oh, there you go. I was worried you'd forgotten how to play these cards. You play the 1/1 that lights up and you attack. Yep, you did it. Good job. Yeah, I told you we'd draw it. I think we shock here to play the Omen. We have to ensure that we get to do cool stuff, like find more land and shatter the sky when the time is right. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. What else you got? Oh, I see. You wouldn't want to show us too many lizards at once. You gotta slow that lizard roll, baby. So am I playing Narset next turn? I think so. It's more mana efficient. The question is, do I want to keep the Birth? It's a little slow at this point, but I also do need to keep drawing land. Birth isn't a bad card against red. I'll keep both. Start that life gain machine.
If you wish to surrender, I have just the trick.
Karn. And 3 lands on the bottom. That might come back to bite me. Putting 3 lands away like that. When we need to draw land 5. Now if the opponent has Annex here, whatever. We tried. We fought so hard. But in the end, it didn't really matter. What? Red player go face. Red player no hold back. Red player never ever cease go face. All face, always. Red player only the face.
Put thoughtfulness before action.
A lot of Elspeth conquers death. And I've already got one, you see. So Ugin it is, because Ugin gains life. Meow. Someday I'll get quicker on that slider to save your ears. Now that I have a slider on the soundboard for the sound effects in the game, I can crank it up and down. And hopefully I'll get on that when I shatter the frickin' sky, because God knows I do it enough. Alright. Play Karn, gain 2 life, get attacked. Scry? I guess so. Fetch the glass casket, so I have removal spell.
I will defend my house. It is best. I will not lose another friend.
That's Karn. Planeswalkers. Planeswalkers gain life. Life offsets Red Mage shenanigans. One of the big draws to running the tap out Planeswalker version is that you have Interplanar Beacon against Mono Red for this source of life gain as you play out your Planeswalkers. It can make a big difference. It almost got us out of the match against Gruul. And now here we see it offsetting some of the damage that these cards would deal. Yeah, you better take out Karn or he's just going to get another glass casket for you. Red Mage confused. Red Mage not attacking face. Red Mage sad. So there are some other lines. We could play the Birth, play the Plains, play the Omen of the Sea, play the Casket. And then we'd have an 0-4 wall in the future to defend Ugin. But this gains the most life and puts the most stuff on the board. So I like this play. It also uses all of our mana.
Do not defy the designs. Secrets manifest before you.
I don't like minusing the Ugin to kill the knight either. I'd rather get the 2-2 in the card because the opponent will probably have to trade something for this 2-2. It obviously lines up well against the Rimrock Knights, against Robber of the Rich and things like that. Maybe they'll just... Oh, they're going face. They're going face, you guys. No Embercleave yet. Are they going to be Infuriate Gamer? Infuriate Gamer has become like Florida Man to me. Florida Man does this. Florida Man does that. Florida Man question. Florida Man suspect. Now Infuriate Gamer is that meme for Magic. Infuriate Gamer attacks with Rimrock Knights. Ignores Ugin. Play is questionable. Alright, the creatures keep on coming. That's another piece of bacon. Let's see if we can scrounge up a Shatter the Sky, shall we? It's kind of weird, because you have to do like this. No, you have to do like this. 2 difference, blue, white, and then blue to play Narset. Funky Narset. 3 life.
The past, present, and future.
Shatter the Sky. Bingo. Alright, can we get the tilt scoop? Or are we trying to actually achieve those play X many spell quests?
Ether itself serves me.
That's why I call this Mr. Hiss. Hisses everything. And they keep on coming. The Unchained Berserkers in the main. It's a hard read on the meta right there. Well, we put a Shatter on the bottom.
Open mind.
Didn't find another. That's fine. That is just fine. Stuff the Rimrock Knight in a box. Blow up this. not take any chances. The rest of that turn is Birth, I think, and Teferi bouncing Omen of the Sea, probably. Yep, just another fun little hand. It might do nothing for a good amount of time, but if we find Planeswalkers, it can gain life. Whoa, somebody's not attacking us? What the heck is this? Send a message. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm coming for you. You will not be able to stop this life gain. Ooh, I got one of those. But I think I don't play it. I think I play the Omen instead, because what I want to do next turn is play Teferi and bounce Omen. So this could be a fun game. Ooh, Esper. All right, it looks like we're in for a slog. We're a very proactive deck with a lot of threats. Our worst card against them is Shatter the Sky, followed by Birth, but other than that, our deck doesn't have many dead cards. I don't want Fae of Wishes right now, it's way too early for that. Do I want another Beacon? I do want to hit all of my land drops. Yeah, I'm gonna dig harder. I've got like 5 land drops among this, and if I resolve Teferi, probably more. I'm going to dig harder for Narsets, Ugins, Karns, yep, that kind of thing. Alright, get him, Teferi. I'm not afraid. If they were going to counter something, we just have to make them do it, because our plan is basically to play stuff every turn of the game. Just keep them under that pressure. You have something I have to respond to, or are you just going to be Control Mage? Alright. Karn. Okay. Omen. Karn can fetch Spyglass, and I'm not even sure what I would name, to be honest. So instead, I think I'll just fetch the Lantern for now. Because this is really good against Elspeth Conquers Death. Which the opponent is sure to run, because that's what everybody runs. We do need another white source to play Elspeth Conquers Death ourselves, so hopefully I either draw it or we don't have to play it this next turn, because it could get awkward and make my early sequencing of playing the Omen look bad. Okay. Funky. Well, that does make the Lantern pretty good, I think. Because now Lantern can take out their graveyard if they're a Dance of the Man's deck. So yeah, we'll give up the Omen and draw a white source. No. Alright, so let's go fetch.
My purpose is greater than myself.
This doesn't really do anything. This does probably close to nothing, but this can actually, we can box the 0/4, and then we can also sacrifice this to Doom Foretold. Our turn is Birth. Go fetch that land. Play it. Stuff it in a box. And we can play out the Lantern. Exile the enchantment, because it's probably a Dance of the Man's deck. We got plenty of toys to go up against their Doom Foretold for now. Very fun. Not a lot of good bounce targets, though. Maybe you bounce Doom Foretold? I don't know. What are you doing, Teferi?
Hey,
Yep.
that was
There you go.
I've got time.
That awkward moment when Doom Foretold is worse for you than for the opponent. Been there. Played some Doom Foretold yesterday. I know the feeling. Have you ever seen Teferi get beaten to death by a glass casket? You're about to.
There is great power in the things
Yeah. Karn's +1 turns an artifact, a non-creature artifact, into a creature. All right, let's see if we can find a Narset. Why we're going to play this main phase instead of instant speed. There we go. Now we're getting to where this card is good. You have a lot of mana. Unfortunately, if we play the Narset, we end up bottoming it. So I guess we save the Narset for next turn. Do I want to get this tap land out of the way, or do I want to save the Scry? I'll get it out of the way. I don't think this game is going to come down to a Scry from this position. Archon, sure. Elspeth Conqueror's Death is licking its chops. So we don't want to sack the Lantern to draw a card until we absolutely need to. We just want to hold it over the graveyard, basically, if Dance of the Manse becomes a thing. Our opponent could have another veto. How would I play against that? I guess I could go get a Spyglass and peek at their hand. But if they have another veto, how does that change anything for me? It really doesn't. I might end up playing this as a 1/4. That's about it. Alright. Then I guess I'll play the land, play around Quench. Omen. Little scry draw action for the opponent now. Keeps both on top. That's interesting. Archon gone. So do we want to play the 1/4 to pair off against the 2/2 to keep Karn alive? Or do we want to sack Karn, go fetch a casket, and box this 2/2 and have even more Doom Foretold insulation? I think I like the latter better, to be honest. Defending Karn isn't probably going to matter much in the long term. Plus now we have another Planeswalker that we can get back with Elspeth Conqueror's Death if we decide to do that. And I can use this Fae of Wishes to fetch something really valuable very soon, like a veto of my own. Yeah, there is a Teferi, which we definitely want to get that against Veto Gamer. Somebody who, some mad crazy being who puts Dovin's Veto in their Doom Foretold Esper build. I always treated that deck as a tap-out deck as well, similar to this one, but there is definitely some value to hiding 1 or 2 counters in your tap-out deck. You could do it with this deck, and you probably wouldn't regret it. Oh, I like this. It's not a very valuable play. So what did you keep on top with this Omen? Huh. They're holding up suspicious absorbed mana, but Elspeth Conqueror's Death is going to ruin that, and there is a Teferi. Oof. Trigger. I guess I'll take my Karn back for free next turn. So what else am I doing with Teferi? I could plus it and end of turn use this Fae of Wishes. That's not bad.
Trust me, I have.
Or I could play an Narset. I still think that they're going to Elspeth Conqueror's Death at some point. I may as well do this. This can all be done on a different turn.
Mind and body. So much commotion. Own your prowess.
Another Karn. Lovely. Doom returns. I have a lot of glass caskets to sacrifice. I'm ready. I have been planning for this day. For the Doom was foretold, you see. That's how Doom is. It was foretold. All right.
I will fight with honor.
Now what do we do? Seems like there's nothing but amazing options.
I have just the trick for this.
Sure. What else can we get?
Pleased my grief
There's a cage, which doesn't do much. I'll get this spyglass. See what's going on. Actually, I like free stuff, don't you? Don't you like free stuff? Here's Ugin. Ugin's passive makes spyglass free.
I know more than you could learn.
They've had enough. They've had enough of the Super Friend team. Aside from a gruel beating, I'm feeling strong. So let's just dive into this ranked game, and let's get on the play, and let's curve out like a boss, and this will be fun. Yeah, we're on the play. I don't know if we're gonna curve out like a boss, but it's definitely keepable. This hand is a Teferi away from great. Sphinx, oh boy. Fires is a rough one. But we have more ways than a lot of blue-white lists to deal with that. I might as well keep land. But Karn isn't that great against them. Spyglass, actually, that's only half true. They sometimes ignore the Karn because they don't think it matters, but Spyglass naming Cavalier of Flame and Kenrith the Returned King is actually, it takes a lot out of them. When they can't be playing those crazy haste threats and smashing you, then you're in a much better spot. Sneak the beacon down so we can use the Omen. Our opponent either has Bone Crusher or an Omen of their own, it looks like. So there's a Fae of Wishes. Fae of Wishes can get Heliod's Intervention, which can remove a Fires, but it's a little slow, and it is 4 mana. I think I'd rather be aggressive here, go for the Narset or the Teferi, something that really disrupts them, and we missed, at least so far, and we still missed. That's not great. Alright, we'll set up for the next Omen, but the 3 mana Planeswalkers are really important against Fires, just to throw them off their plan early. Or at least slow their plan down. It probably doesn't throw them off, to be fair. Ooh, they don't have a Teferi. I'm only basing them being Fires on Sphinx of Foresight, but I don't know where else you run that card. I will take the Narset. And I will take the other Narset, apparently. So we need to hit a land. The best way to hit a land is to actually sacrifice Omen of the Sea and Scry, which would mean not playing Narset, but I still think I want this on the board. That's tough. That's a tough one. Especially if I scry 4 lands to the bottom here, I'm gonna cry. Oh, that's a lot of basic islands. That is not good. That's not good at all. Brazen Borrower, okay. Bye-bye, Narset. So, Fires Sphinx, maybe? Okay, just Sphinx. It's a land. It's not the right land. But Karn might still get attention. And it's the most mana efficient, so we'll play it. You look at the top card here. Nope. Not right now. This game is about to become very tempo-oriented. So tempting to take a Spyglass. Especially with Ugin in hand. I don't know when I'm going to play these caskets, so that's what I'm going to do. To the top. Scary. Okay. Very aggressive. And they are just playing right into a Shatter the Sky I don't have right now, but still working out for them.
Curiosity and wonder drive civilization.
Yep, we're naming Cavalier Flame.
Petty wars.
And we're blowing up what? I think the Sphinx because of the Scries.
interloper.
Uh-huh. They get to wheel some cards, but they never get to give it haste. Now I wish I had that Shatter the Sky I bottomed back, because the opponent is showing no regard for it. Well, I could try to dig one up with the Narset. If I fail, though, I'm probably dead. Whereas if I play Elspeth Conquers Death and exile this, they probably can't kill me. Oh, man. I guess Kenrith could do it. Tough decision. Probably dead either way, just because of the ticks going off here. But, I mean, we'll probably find something to play off this Narset. So, I'm going to go for it. Plus, it gains the life minor point in Narset's favor.
I have practiced. Meditate.
Wow.
Prepare.
That was unfortunate. I guess the optimist in me still went for it, but now we are 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, they're saying good game because they can bounce the Spyglass and pump. Yeah, that went badly for me.
That's more like it.
Fires is rough, you guys. Fires is rough. It's a very hard game to win. Back for the post-match talk. I like this deck for a number of certain matchups, but obviously the Jeskai Fires one is very, very difficult to keep up with. In that game, perhaps I should have kept a Shatter the Sky. I didn't expect them to play out the way that they did. Most of those decks are much more careful, but that one was extremely aggressive and didn't really care about playing into a sweeper, which we never found the backup. So if I had it to play again, I'd wonder how it went if I kept Shatter the Sky. The deck in general, is it better because it runs Ugin and Karn? I'm not convinced. Obviously, it would be nice to have some counter magic if you're into that kind of thing, but this is a good break from the counter magic strategy, and I think it deserves a little bit more exploring because it has some better matchups. Rakdos Sacrifice in particular is almost unwinnable for blue-white control in the Dream Trawler setup with counter spells, but is very winnable with Karn in your deck. So some of those matchups are better. It's not a strict one or the other, but Ugin here can really go in any deck. So if you have Ugin sitting around and you haven't used him in a while, put him in your favorite deck. Why not? It's fun. And I hope that you enjoyed this video, and we'll continue exploring some more of these 4-ofs that aren't getting enough love in Standard in future videos, because I'm having a really good time with this series as well, getting to play some of my own builds here and there. So thank you for watching the video. Oh, add an Aether Gust to the sideboard. That's something I want. Thank you for watching this video, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.